rumors that Bradley Cooper and Gigi Hadid have gotten married. So Travis and Taylor got married at the beginning of July.
Right.
Bradley and Gigi were there for the big Madison Square Garden spectacle of it all.
Correct.
Was it possible that after the big MSG, 1,000 people, carnival, gifting, prizing, performances, were they thinking, we want to do this, but we definitely don't want to do this?
The mics are hot, and so's the gossip. Let's get into it in 3.
Welcome to In 3. I'm Danielle Graham.
And I'm Callie.
Cal, Pete Davidson is back out there dating?
He's dating a, kind of Temu Kim Kardashian.
Honestly, though, with some sort of celebrity adjacency. He is rumored to be dating, or seen on a date with, I should say, with Sarah Jane Nader, who is the sister of Brooks Nader, right?
Yes.
And you're right. She fits the prototype.
Well, that's why, I always, in my mind, when I'm thinking of the Nader sisters, I think Kardashian sort of next gen, basically.
Yep.
Right? Because they have their reality show called Love Thy Nader. It premiered last year. They're kind of all over the place, all out there. I don't know what any of them really do, except Brooks is maybe sort of an actor. She's in the new Baywatch reboot. But just when I saw this news, I was like, yep, tracks, no surprise, and fits all of his criteria.
Absolutely. I actually saw a comment that somebody made that goes exactly with what you said. He won't stop until he's dated every brunette with a middle part.
And exactly.
This is right?
I'm automatically off the list because
side part.
I just can't get it centered. I just can't. It just doesn't work. It's just not in me to give.
I'm a center part girly, but I'm a blonde. So just not obviously.
So instantly also not the one.
I'm just disappointed. We talked about this when it was announced that he and Elsie split up, which was just 2 months ago. Their daughter Scotty was born in December. And we said, I hope he stays single and just focuses on co-parenting and doesn't, dip back into the world of dating, because the man loves a girlfriend. Let's be real. And we both said it. And here we are inside of 2 months and he's out in them streets with a woman. It's just so disappointing.
It is disappointing. And I just feel like, the idea that he kind of abandoned that situation, for lack of a better word, and has just kind of is moving on sort of scot-free, pun
Nice
unintended.
One. Yeah.
It doesn't sit well with me. And we were big Pete fans. We love Pete,
Very much.
We always wish him well. We still do. But it's just I don't know. Now I feel like I've seen a side of him that I can't unsee. And I'm just, I feel the same way. I'm just disappointed.
I'm happy to see he and Elsie have reached some sort of agreement in the co-parenting of Scotty, their daughter. It looks as though they've made a statement and said that they are cooperatively co-parenting. That's great. I just feel really badly for their daughter, for when she grows up to see kind of all of this out there, to know that this is the moves that he made right after leaving the mother. It's just so sad. And for any woman that's considering dating him, he's just a red flag now for me. Red flag, bud.
That's 100% what I was thinking. I'm any girl that comes next, I mean, you're definitely not going to want to take it to a significant level, because you know how he moves. He's the kind of guy that when shit gets rough, which it does inevitably in every relationship, in any circumstance, there's going to be rough patches. You're going to have a baby. It's going to mess your shit up completely. You're going to see sides of people you wish you hadn't, but accept anyways. But in his case, it's just it got a little tough really, really early on, and he decided to bail. So if you're the new woman, you're well, this is a good time, not a long time. Let's put it that way. And maybe that's good for him.
But why just not be single for a little while? What is this compulsion to be with somebody all the time? Do some work, figure it out, focus elsewhere. It's just, I knew it was going to happen. We predicted it, but I'm still disappointed seeing it.
He's just out there chasing Hollywood tail.
But grow up. You're a dad.
You're a dad.
Come on.
Be better.
Be better. Be better. Cal, I really want to talk about the internet's obsession with this movie, or the trailer anyway, for a movie that's coming out called Wicker.
Right.
It is everywhere. It's all over my feed. The Cut has done articles on it. It is taken over social media. So it is a movie starring Olivia Colman. Okay?
Right.
She's a fisherwoman. It's in the olden days. She's a fisherwoman in a village. She has no partner. The villagers are making fun of her. She's lonely. She goes to the local basket weaver, played by Peter Dinklage, and says, make me a husband. So he makes her a husband of wicker.
Right.
Made of wicker, played by Alexander Skarsgård. And from the trailer, all they're doing is having sex. She's just having sex with this hot wicker husband. All the villagers are jealous, okay? This movie has been described as a vulgar, horny, and unexpectedly heartwarming tale. And women have gone crazy for wicker Alexander Skarsgård in this trailer.
That is so funny. I feel like it's like Scarecrow fan fiction. Like,
yes.
It's literally like the women who are like hot for Scarecrow, hot for Oz, and they're like, let's take it one step further. Like, Danielle, the bar is so low that we're like, make me an inanimate object that looks a little like Alexander Skarsgård. Let's go from there.
You can't even see his hot face under the Triscuit cracker costume, because that's what he looks like. He looks like a Triscuit. It's so, and they're showing like all the scenes from the trailer is just them like in bed, and then he's going into town saying, I've got to fix the bed again. Like all they're doing is having sex. High sex volume in this relationship.
They're just out there living their best wicker bed lives.
Exactly. But for me, every time we see him in this trailer, it's the squeaking and the creaking of the wicker that I'm like, there's just no way my misophonia could, like, I just can't find this hot.
No,
it's too much noise.
You can't even stand when your husband like breathes a little loudly or blows his nose. This is not the relationship for you, Danielle.
This is not, Wicker Man is not going to be hot for me. I'm sorry. I love that everyone's into it.
As long as the Wicker Man doesn't have Crocs. That are loud.
Yeah, my husband bought a loud pair of Crocs this week, and I heard them before I saw them.
Not good for business.
I have very sensitive hearing and misophonia, and I sent Callie a photo of these heinous Crocs.
Yeah.
And I'm living with ugly Crocs right now.
You are.
I might choose Wicker over ugly Croc at this point. That's how bad these Crocs are.
I'm honestly thinking, yeah, it might be a fair swap. One
so
for one.
Bad. They're so bad.
Parts.
They're so bad.
So funny. But Olivia Colman is amazing. Like she is, I can't think of one movie Olivia Colman has been in that isn't like some kind of award nominated or like at least that caliber of film. So I feel like it's probably a pretty good movie and I will be seeing it.
Yeah, I think it's got to be. You're right. Like she has choice, options.
Totally.
You know, for something to come across her desk that is a Wicker-made husband, for her to say, yes, I'm in. It's got to be just something.
Bang in the Wicker Man. But, or maybe she's just, she's just at a stage in her career where she's like, Alexander Skarsgård, love scenes. Let's go.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I would love our listeners to go watch the trailer. Please, if you haven't done so, do so. And I want to know what you think. It is a gift.
It is a gift.
It's something. Speaking of movies, Spider-Man. Wowza. Breaking every possible record.
We knew it was going to be a big deal as it always is, but this I think was an unexpected result coming out of, was it the first weekend?
Yeah, so the biggest domestic opening weekend, so it beat Avengers Endgame, and then over $1 billion worldwide in 6 days.
That's crazy.
It's unbelievable. It's such a broad audience for this type of movie. And, you know, summer blockbusters are designed for exactly this. But I think this really did exceed all expectations. We knew it was going to be big. I don't know that anybody could have predicted this big.
Yeah, I think Spider-Man, if I may, in my expertise about comic movies, you know, my expertise runs deep on this. But
it does.
Like Spider-Man is a type of is it Marvel movie that I would actually watch?
Yes.
Like I like the Spider-Man story. I will watch it. The other ones, like, you know, the Ant-Mans and the even Superman, not that interested. Even, Rocket Man with Robert Downey Jr., whatever that one's called.
Iron Man, yeah, good.
There you go.
Not Elton John.
Not that interested. But Spider-Man is one that I'll always come back to. And I also, Zendaya and Tom Holland.
Exactly.
It's a big moment for them. They're married now. They were on a massive press tour, not just for Spider-Man, but also the exposure from the Odyssey press tour.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wonder if all of those factors came into play here to give them this incredible result.
It's amazing. And I love that you brought up the main stars of the movie because I'm just so happy for both of them.
Yeah.
These are
Me
good
too.
people, and these are wonderful things happening to really good people, and it's really easy to get behind people that we know, or as much as we know, are like decent, good, kind, charitable people. And I just love that for them. So right now, with the release of this one, it looks like Tom, we don't really know the specifics of the deal, but it looks like he has 2 more Spider-Man movies under contract. And then 3 more still in the big Marvel crossover world. So likely an Avengers sort of crossover. But I think now that this one has done like beyond all expectation, something tells me they're drawing up some kind of revision to this contract right now to make sure that
even
this man stays.
surprises me. That he even had any left on his contract. Because when I was listening to his recent interview with Amy Poehler on Good Hang, he sort of indicated that even after the last one, because the last Spider-Man was the multiverse one where it was like Tobey Maguire was there and Andrew Garfield was there and it was like all their different timelines. And he said after that, he didn't even know if they were going to make another one. And it was this particular director and this particular script that sort of inspired him to come back and make another one and feel really good about it. So, and then he's often talked about the fact that like he's 30 now. He feels like it might be time to pass the baton. And remember he had suggested that British kid who was in
Adolescence.
Yes. And so he's kind of, I feel like, been planting seeds that this might be his last one. And yeah, you're right. Like they're not going to continue. They don't need to chase anything after this. Like sometimes it's like, oh, that was a letdown. Let's try it again. It's like, it's like Travis Kelce's 25th year in the NFL. It's like, okay, last year was not a success. Let me try to do that again. Let's do a do-over and like finish on a high. I feel like this could be a really great reason to call it a huge success.
It could be. Or are you of the mind of, listen, get while the getting's good. I know this role. I know this crew. I love this work. This is, this is something I'm comfortable in and a space I'm comfortable in. I can do this for as long as they'll have me. Or I want to move on, challenge myself, grow as an actor, do something different. So I guess we'll see. Right. For now, I'm actually excited to go see this. I always was, and I agree with you. I think Spider-Man is for everybody. Everybody loves Spider-Man. Let's line up the big 3, Cal. We've got some juicy ones today, as usual.
We do.
Rumors that Bradley Cooper and Gigi Hadid have gotten married.
What?
I
don't know why this got me so excited.
Are you hyped on this?
I'm hyped. Yeah. I just like love it. Well, we'll talk about it, but I just like, if this is true and they went about it this way, this is like iconic to me.
Agreed. Then we're going to talk about Ariana Grande, as we talked about on Monday's show. If you haven't listened yet, highly recommend you go back because I think we had a really necessary and important conversation, and that was received really well from our audience.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes.
It really was.
We were, first of all, it's hard to talk about someone else's suffering ever, and it's a yucky feeling, and
it is.
And we never want to come off as gossip mongers or anyone who's trying to capitalize on someone else's suffering or misfortune. But we really felt this was an important conversation to have, and especially like in a culture where, in a climate where we're really trying to avoid ever talking about people's physical appearance or their bodies. I think we both came into that with so much care, and I'm glad that came through.
It really did. I think it landed really well. We had some really great feedback. So thank you to everybody who sent us a note and shared that they enjoyed the way that we had that discussion. So we're going to pick up that thread because now Ari has taken.
She's spoken.
She's spoken. She was on stage and she address the statement that came out.
Speech.
And
she had a whole speech.
And it's all kind of a little confusing.
A little confusing.
It's a little confusing. So we'll get into that. And then finally, I'm so glad you brought this topic to us. I didn't know this. Cal's a big fan of Keke Palmer. And
I love her. Always have, but like even more so now.
I totally get it. What a gift it was to dig into all things Keke Palmer. And woo, this woman is booked and busy. I love it.
Working woman in show business. Maybe only just inching out Teyana Taylor.
Yeah, no kidding.
No
kidding. Yeah, she's amazing. I can't wait to talk about all things Keke Palmer. She's
me too.
She's quite a star.
And she has a massive new show that they just announced, which is also like a really kind of, I think it's kind of a big deal, this new The Voice spinoff.
It's major. So we'll get into all that. All right, Bradley and Gigi spotted in Paris wearing what looks like wedding bands.
Well, they are wedding bands. We have confirmation. We know what the rings are.
Right, from the designer?
Yeah, we know exactly what the rings are. So apparently they're wearing new rings from Boucheron Wedding Bands, which is a French jeweler, okay? She is wearing the Quatre Radiant Edition wedding band, $6,500, yellow gold against also a delicate line of diamonds. So it's like a double ring. And then Bradley is wearing the Gaudron pink gold wedding band. And these are, from a wedding ring jeweler.
Yep.
And so this is not like jewelry they picked up at a flea market. These are actual wedding bands. So
these are wedding bands.
Critical piece here.
It is. Thank you for doing the work on the French accent there too. I see you. I appreciate you. Well done.
I was rolling those R's.
You were.
I was really trying to show out here.
Grade 4 French coming back. All of it.
There it is.
So, okay, I guess the question is, not if, because it looks like they did, when? So that's where I'm like in the weeds a bit. So
we love a timeline. We love a
timeline. So Travis and Taylor got married at the beginning of July.
Right.
Bradley and Gigi were there for the big Madison Square Garden spectacle of it all.
Correct.
Was it possible that after the big MSG, 1,000 people, carnival, gifting, prizing, performances, were they thinking, we want to do this, but we definitely don't want to do this. Let's just go. Let's just go, get it done, get married, have our moment, and move on with our lives. Do you think that's what happened?
Right. I mean, that could be it, that they were like, okay, they've obviously been talking about weddings. Like, I don't think it came out of nowhere, but
Agreed.
I think that it is possible that they went and they saw the spectacle and they were like, this is the opposite of us.
Not for us.
And maybe let's just go and, I don't know, run to City Hall and get it done with absolutely no, pomp and circumstance and like hoopla. But also it could be that these are just the kind of people they are. And this is such a model off duty moment. Like, the model off duty look, which Gigi is known for, is sort of this like stereotypical model thing where they're like never really wearing like a full lip of lipstick. It's more just like a little stained. And they're always in like a t-shirt and jeans and maybe like a pair of heels, like very kind of understated, but always chic.
Yes.
And I feel like this, if they went to France, so we know right after Taylor's wedding, they went to Paris for Fashion Week. We saw them there.
Yeah.
No rings at Fashion Week, okay? And they were photographed everywhere and they were not wearing rings. Then, Gigi had posted some carousels from her trip to France, a lot of selfie photos with her left hand front and center, no rings. Now they show up just a couple weeks later, knowing that they're being paparazzi'd. Now, whether or not they were surprised by the paps or maybe they were, I don't know, had planned to see them, I'm not sure. But now all of a sudden they have rings. So I don't know. I wonder if they're just model off duty kind of people who wanted an understated moment and had always planned to do it that way, or if they were just really kind of like put off or maybe, a little judgy about the the choices that her bestie Taylor made and decided to just like, you know what, let's not plan a wedding. Let's just go get it done.
Though maybe that's it. I think that could be it. Just, you know what's not for you when you experience it. You're like, ooh, not for us.
Not that.
And, you know, Bradley Cooper is 51 years old. Like
Right.
I can't imagine him doing a big, giant spectacle to that degree. I'm not saying it's all spectacle or, you know, City Hall wedding. There is a happy medium for sure.
Yeah.
There is that option. But I could just see him being like, he loves this woman. Just kind of being a no fuss guy saying, okay, I love you. Let's just do it. We don't need the whole to do. And oftentimes in the celebrity world, your whole life is a to do and sets and movies and hair and makeup and
runways
and premieres and red carpets. It's just like, you know what? Let's just keep it us. Maybe the kids were there. Who knows? Like it could have been a very simple, beautiful ceremony.
Totally. That's why I found the whole Taylor MSG moment to be so shocking, and the reason why I like could not believe my eyes or my ears until it was actually happening, because I figured like, yeah, Taylor's in stadiums for her work. Why would, and so is Travis. Like, why would they want to be in a stadium for their big day? Turns out that's just what they wanted, and good for them. But I feel the same way. Like Gigi walks down a runway professionally. Maybe she didn't want to walk down a runway at her wedding. Maybe she just wanted to be standing there at the courthouse and doing her thing, which is, by the way, what I did.
Yeah.
I was like, not that I'm on runways professionally. I mean, not usually, but I was like, I just don't want to walk down an aisle. I just can't imagine it. Like,
I know.
I've seen a million people do it. And, you know, to your point about seeing what you want and what you don't want, it's not a judgment of other people. It's just like, I can't imagine myself doing that. So I didn't.
I don't.
And again, I don't think, you know, we can be a little sassy, but I don't think we're trying to say that, you know, Gigi's is better than Taylor's, or that Gigi was judging Taylor in a mean way. More so just like, yeah, like I don't want 3 weeks worth of press and speculation and details revealed. And I don't want this, you know, whole spectacle around my big day. But happy for her, you know?
Yeah. And they've never really, Bradley and Gigi, that is, have never been spectacle people.
No.
You know, they're not the people on a stage chugging beers like a Travis Kelce. And, you know, they're just not that way. So if this is in fact the way that they've done their wedding, I think that's wonderful. It's beautiful for them. It's an individual choice for the style of couple that they are.
And, you know, Bradley has some connection to France in general. He went to school there. He went to university in France. He speaks fluent French. He's kind of known to bust it out every now and then in interviews, especially if he's doing like French interviews. Yeah. He does speak fluent French. And so I do believe that Paris is very close to his heart. But also the Sun has a report. So take it with a grain of salt, because the Sun is not always 100% reliable, right? It is like more of a tabloid. Mm-hmm. But according to them, it didn't happen in Paris. According to them, the wedding actually happened in New York. It says there was a dinner celebration with Bradley and Gigi in New York last week. And there's a ton of talk that had to do with the wedding. And so, you know, they have been back and forth. It's possible it did happen in New York, which is also their place, right? So maybe they did have a quiet celebration in New York, and now they're having like a little honeymoon in Paris. But also one more little factoid is that Bradley is just on the cusp of starting to film the new Oceans prequel that he's making with Margot Robbie, which starts, I do believe it starts shooting in Monaco within a few weeks.
Okay. So he's ramping up for some work, and this was a nice little bit of downtime before.
Maybe they could sneak in a little bit of private time post nuptials.
Yeah.
Close by to where he's going to be filming.
That makes sense. I'm not sure this relationship ever made the most sense to me. Mm-hmm. Like Bradley and Gigi, how do you feel about it? I always felt it was a little bit, I didn't understand it. Maybe now that they've been together for 3 years, it makes a little more sense, and they're both parents to young children. Every time I see them together, I'm just like,
yeah,
interesting.
How does that work?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess you're right. Like they're both, I think we've talked about it before, that there is a 20-year age gap between them, which I always find to be like, what does a 30-year-old and a 50-year-old relate on, except for the fact that, they are in the same industry. They both have daughters. Bradley's daughter is a little bit older than Gigi's, but they're still in that same era of really being hands-on parents, single parents. And so some of that makes sense. And I think Bradley, I think Gigi's mature for her age. And I think Bradley likes to be, youthful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that he likes to be youthful.
I do think that whatever he's done, just as a sidebar, is settling a little bit, right?
Okay, so I was trying to get photos of them or look at photos of them from this France vacation. They all have sunglasses because I wanted to see if settling had taken place, because I believe it has too. Because when I have seen him recently, I haven't been as sort of shocked as I was when whatever the alleged procedure photos first came out, because those definitely...
You really can't judge the work for like 6 to 12 months.
That's great advice.
So maybe that was just a little soon. But yeah, no, I think they're growing on me too. The more that I see them together and the more that I see this like kind of like low key loving life. Yeah. And, they're always holding hands. They're always together, but they're never like so over the top that you're like, feel like they're trying to prove something to you. You know what I mean? It's just kind of this quiet loving.
Quiet loving. That's nice.
Which is like the opposite of high sex volume.
Exactly.
And the opposite of schmoops. So it's kind of like,
it's where they live.
Nice balance.
Well, if they are indeed married, we are happy for them. Congratulations to Bradley and Gigi. Let's get over to Ari. So... As we know, the statement came out from her team over the weekend that she was going to step away from sort of public visibility because of the intense scrutiny of her. And then she takes to the stage during one of her tour stops earlier this week. And what she says doesn't really jive with what the statement says. It doesn't really add up. What she said, she addressed her fans. It was a long 4-minute kind of speech she read from her phone, wanting to make sure that she was very clear in her message. And she said the break comes from an empowered place. And she said, when a story comes out that's not directly from me, things can get a little blown out of proportion. So I just wanted to speak to my fans directly tonight because I love you so much. The announcement that was made yesterday was not a reactive or impulsive thing. So I guess the questions are, what do you mean this wasn't directly from you?
Right. Are your reps not speaking for you? Like, isn't that the whole point of having a rep?
Did you not give the direction? Did you not sign off on? Did they go rogue here? What do you mean? I just really don't understand the statement that we received from her reps and the message that she gave like 24 hours later. Doesn't it seem very strange to you?
They do not jive.
At all.
And in her speech, she said basically that this is something I had decided to plan, again, from a thoughtful and empowering place, and that it had been set in motion long before any of the scrutiny. So that doesn't make sense either, because if she does have like reps and strategists, which I assume she does, and I assume they've also probably at least consulted with Crisis PR because, it's the noise is very loud. Not that she's in crisis, but that, her reputation is, there's a lot of loudness and a lot of headlines around her right now. And I would assume any celebrity in that situation would engage with like Crisis PR. If it already had been set in motion and it was something you planned, you just wanted to take a break and step back from public life after your tour, you wanted to maybe put a pin in some of the projects that you have upcoming because you need a break, and you had made this plan from a calm and what does she say? Thoughtful and empowered place. Making that statement, focusing on the healthily of it all, of the athleticism of it all, and of the scrutiny of it all, the day after, or a few days after this sort of controversial video was released of you where people are very concerned, that would be a massive mistake. That would be a massive like sort of misfire from her team. If this had already been a plan, but then they happened to put this statement while the speculation and while the the concern was at such a high, like that would just be really messy.
Really, really messy. And it's almost as though what she was saying in her speech on stage was essentially saying, don't listen to the statement. The statement isn't my position. The statement isn't real. It's not about the scrutiny. So negating the team behind her and what they came out with, which to your point is so messy. This is when you have a team and you've got people working with you, it's alignment, it's core messaging, it's, we are united in what we want to put out there. And that's not at all how this landed. So is it a matter of, because the scrutiny became the conversation, is it now a matter of, let's walk that back? Like, we don't want to be talking about the scrutiny. It's nothing to do with scrutiny. There's nothing to scrutinize. I'm perfectly fine.
Right.
I feel fine about all of this. I'm not bothered. She said, I'm completely unbothered. I'm not affected by what's out there. I'm not carrying any of it.
This. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going on a break because I want to go on a break. It does not bother me because there's nothing wrong with me. That's what I kind of heard.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I also do want to say I applaud her and her bravery for even stepping out on the stage after everything that's been going on. And I think I even thought about it before she came out and did this speech on stage. When it was just the statement, I was like, oh my God, like what a tough task and a tall order to step out onto the stage every day in front of tens of thousands of fans for many, many more shows after sort of what felt like, an admission that the public speculation and that the concern was getting to her and that they felt like maybe it was time to just take a pause. I felt like that's going to be really tough for her. So I just want to take a moment to applaud her bravery for even being out there with all of this, whether she feels she's struggling physically and emotionally or not. I think it's hard to do what she's doing, and I think it's amazing. So when she says it doesn't bother me, I almost believe her. And I do wonder if there is a battle internally of her team where her team is saying, her team is on the outside seeing what we're seeing, right? That there is cause for concern and that there are issues that might need to be addressed, maybe, from a health perspective, from a mental health perspective for sure. And then Ari's on the inside of it, which oftentimes, and I'm not an expert in any of this, but I know that if there could be an issue of dysmorphia or, the person who's on the inside of it doesn't see what everybody else sees. They see their own. We never see ourselves the way other people see us. I wish we did, right? It would be, life would be so much sweeter if you saw yourself the way I see you and vice versa, right? So Ari's not seeing what we're all seeing. And I do wonder if there was an internal battle where her team is like, okay, this is getting to a fever pitch where we do need to address this. So we're going to put out a statement. And maybe she was complicit in the moment. Maybe she didn't know what their wording was going to be. And then maybe she was like, oh, this is all wrong. This is all wrong. Let me just set the record straight. Like, I don't know.
And you're right. It does. And and I think I'm glad you said that it is really a very brave thing to get up there in front of all of those people and speak from the heart for those 4 minutes to share how she's feeling inside of it, as you said. Because she could have just gone and done the show and performed and not addressed it and moved on and taken the break. So I'm glad you said that we need to be applauding the bravery. I think that's a very, very valid point.
I think she could have gone out and said, like, if she wanted to address her fans, and the first thing she said was that she's hearing that her fans are worried about her. And if she wanted to just, bring the vibes up in the room, maybe she was worried that the vibes would be low because people were like, focusing on the wrong things. Maybe she wanted to put it back on the art and wanted to make sure they felt like she was this bad bitch pop star, which she is, right? Yeah. And maybe she just wanted to dispel any bad feelings that the fans might have. I think she could have, said, I'm good. I love you guys. Everything is going to be okay. Let's have a good time tonight. Yeah. But by saying the parts about that this had been pre-planned and that we're all wrong, again, the gaslighting on like the thing you think this was about is not what it's about. And it's just, I think it could have been handled differently, but the fact that she's sort of like backpedaling and walking back the statement and making it feel like that we're misunderstanding or that there's misalignment, again, it doesn't add up.
It doesn't add up. I did see some people in our comments section looking to sell their tickets to the shows. I think there's a large segment of people that don't feel comfortable supporting at this time. I've had those conversations with people who had some sort of conflicting feelings about going to a show and seeing the show and then saying, should we be, not here supporting necessarily that piece, but posting and sharing the imagery of this person on stage and in her current physical state. So I think some people are having those feelings as well about sort of their role.
Yeah. Or to your point from the other day, talking about people who have tickets, maybe they were going to take their young daughters.
But there's no way I would.
And maybe now feeling like that might not be the best call. And maybe that's, something they don't want to expose their kids to. Because there are a lot of young fans of Ariana. And of course, they would be going with their parents. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was that kind of case as well, where parents were trying to sort of shield and shelter their kids from what looks to be somebody, struggling.
What was so wild and unexpected the other night, after Monday's show, my daughter was watching Netflix and I said, what are you watching? She said, this show Victorious, which is Ariana Grande. And I didn't even know it was Ari in it because, obviously the show is old and we all look different than we did a decade ago, but where we were and where we are is worlds apart. Lifetimes, worlds, galaxies, and other constellations. It is something. And I'm thankful that my daughter B has sees that Ari and has not yet, to my knowledge, seen the Ari of today. Because that sort of
trying to put that together at her age would be difficult to do.
I agree.
How could that be the same person?
Exactly. And why? Yeah. Why that change? Why would that happen? And trying to have those conversations. Anyway, a bit of a digression there.
There are reports about people in her inner circle really feeling like this Ricky Alvarez, who she seems to be reconnected with, one of her boyfriends from 2016, that this relationship has been really good for her and that he is a really positive influence and a really solid support system for her at this time, which I had kind of speculated on a few weeks ago when we talked about their relationship. I had wondered if, reconnecting with someone that you were with at a time when you were healthy and happy, both physically and mentally, if that might be a really good thing to be kind of reconnected with the version of yourself that loved him and him that loved that version of you, and kind of, I don't know, almost inspiring you to come home to yourself. And I don't know, it sounds like maybe that's the case. And I really, 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 really hope that she's surrounded by great people. And I hope that Ricky is the right person to be there right now.
I completely agree. All right. Do you want to talk about your girl, Keke Palmer?
I always want to talk about Keke Palmer.
I knew I loved her from the things I've seen her in, but I didn't know how incredible this woman was until you gave me the gift of prepping for today's show. So thank you. This woman has got as many gigs as Ryan Seacrest, and I love it. I love it.
Yes, as many gigs as Ryan Seacrest, but sorry for the shade, 100,000 times more talented as a human. She's a singer. She's a writer. She's a host. She's a dancer. She's an actress. Like, this woman can do it all and everything. And she's just the purest soul, and she almost has like Oprah energy. Like, so inspiring, so insightful, has a thirst for knowledge. She's always reading. She's reading philosophers. She's like, she's always just like, she's a sponge soaking up all this amazing information from the thought leaders that she admires. But then she's like this big kind of personality who delivers it in this way that you're just like, I have never met a more entertaining human. Well, I haven't met her, but I have never seen a more entertaining human who's also got this like incredible heart and mind. And
yes,
I just love her.
And like you're right, it's thoughtfulness and intention and growth, and then it's also comedic timing like I've never seen.
Yeah,
she's so quick, she's so funny, she's so engaging. Yeah. And she really makes people and guests of hers when she's with them feel at ease, feel seen. And then you see her doing, you know, some of her comedy bits on socials and I'm dying laughing. Like, she's so funny. I just love her. I love her. And I love this new gig that you mentioned that she's got. So she's going to be the host of The Voice Celebrity Edition.
Right. Yeah. So The Voice has, I guess it's, first of all, again, no shade intended, but it's still around, which, you know, this is not my genre anymore. Like, you know, maybe there was a time when The Voice would have been appealing, but it's not my genre anymore. But they're, you know, they've made a million seasons, and now they have this new spinoff where celebrities will be the contestants auditioning for a new panel of celebrity judges with Keke as the host. So I guess it's not singers that will be competing, like people we know to be artists. You know, it's not going to be like Katy Perry showing up and singing for them. It's going to be celebrities or notable names who we don't know have voices.
Yeah, so actors, musicians, influencers, athletes, comedians, and reality television stars.
Great.
With this hidden talent.
Jesse Solomon, it's your moment.
I think I'll start. Don't do it. It'll be stuck in my head all day.
Oh my God, I love it.
No, can't happen. So Keke as the host, Joe Jonas will appear as a coach alongside Queen Latifah and Riley Green. So a nice little shakeup.
A nice little shakeup.
Yeah, I don't know how Carson Daly's feeling about it. This man has been at the helm of this thing for 30 seasons, I guess.
Well, he did post, he posted something where he was like, just to be clear, like I'm still hosting the main show, but this is an entire change up. The judges have changed up and everything. So, you know, happy for Keke to take this on. Not sure if that's genuine, but I'm certainly happy for Keke to take this on alongside all of the other things that she's doing. Can I just list to you some of the things that she's up to right now? So she just released a second memoir, which is next on my list. She's also been on Broadway. She was a Nickelodeon star. She has done TED Talks. She also has a Pilates app.
Yes.
She's now a certified Pilates coach. She has her own Pilates brand. So you can sign up for her app. She also has a line with Fabletics. She also has a very successful podcast called Baby, It's Keke Palmer. And I love her, like it's all interviews with celebrities, a lot of people that she's friendly with.
Yeah.
And she's an amazing host of a podcast, and that's a skill that not everybody possesses, but she is so engaging. She is so wonderful in these conversations and really brings out something new in the people that she's having a conversation with, which I think is really key. It's like, it doesn't sound like every other interview. It's Keke's interview.
Yeah.
Do you know where she got her start?
Well, yeah, I do now because you gave me this gift. Akilah and the Bee, the spelling bee movie. I had no idea that was her. Of course, that movie was so iconic back in its day. It was such a big movie.
Such a big movie.
And so I actually saw when I was watching some of her socials, somebody asked her what the most impressive word is she can spell. And she's still got some of those like spelling skills because this woman can do everything. She's also got her show The Burbs is coming back for a second season.
Oh, so that's right.
There's like, and I also love that her kind of tagline is Keke, get that bag, because this girl works hard.
Yeah. And she has been for her whole entire life. Like, this is an example of someone who has hustled behind the scenes and in front, but really like this hustle to not just make a name for herself, because I always knew the name Keke Palmer. Like, it's not like this is a new name for me, but after 20 years of grinding, and, you know, before the pandemic, she was hosting GMA3, like she was hosting a third hour of GMA. Like, she's done some really amazing things that have been heavily, profiled. But it's only really in the last few years that we're like, oh shit. Like Keke Palmer is an icon. And she's actually getting her star on the Walk of Fame next year. And it's just one of those examples. Again, why I sort of brought up Teyana Taylor is because it kind of felt the same way. It's someone who's been working on their craft and had so many hands in so many different pots and irons in the fire. And then finally, it really feels like she's come into her big moment, her big moment, her big shining moment, where it's not just like, I know Keke Palmer. It's like, I'm obsessed with Keke Palmer.
Yes.
And she said the reason why she knows that she's in like a really good, peaceful place and that she's like kind of reached the next echelon is that now she says no to some things.
And what a gift that is, especially from somebody who, as you said, just was out there hustling nonstop. And I love that, you know, she's being seen for all the talents she has and that all these opportunities are coming to her and the people that make these decisions are thinking of her and she's top of mind. I think that is what a beautiful place to be for somebody so deserving of all of it.
Exactly. And I think some people might have found her. And if so, it's okay. It's okay to admit that this is how you found her. But there has been a lot to do about her Hot Ones interviews.
I haven't seen those. Yeah, no, I haven't seen them. My husband loves Hot Ones.
Okay, so here it is. Hot Ones is a YouTube talk show where the host, Sean Evans, has celebrities come and sit down and answer questions while they're eating really, really, or like gradually spicier and spicier wings. Okay.
Yes.
So, and by the end, they're like dying, they're like puking, they're drinking milk, they're doing whatever they can to dampen the spice. So Keke went on, I think like last year or the year before. She's an amazing interview, no surprise. But there was electric vibes between her and Sean, okay?
What?
Yeah, and then when he was asked later by somebody else, who's your favorite person you've ever interviewed? And this person has interviewed everyone from like Brad Pitt to, you know, like literally the biggest names in the world, at, you know, everybody at the peak of their moment. He said Keke Palmer was like the most incredible guest. Like, I just love her. And he really kind of intimated that he had a crush on her. So she came back to Hot Ones and she was kind of playful with him. She's like, I hear you have a crush on me. And then they like kind of had a kiss. She was like, should we see if we have any
Oh my God, I love her.
So they had a kiss. So that happened. And it was like the lore of that flirtation was all over the internet. Fast forward, she has him on her podcast, okay? And literally, if you ever wanted to watch a man shoot his shot in real time, you watch this interview with the two of them. They are so cute and they're both single. And essentially, it sounds like they've been dating ever since he came on her podcast in June. Yeah. And she actually addressed it in an interview a few weeks ago. And she was like, I know everyone's really excited about this because truly, like, if you're chronically online, you have seen this, you are rooting for them. We are stans for this potential relationship. She said, I know everyone's excited, but you have to let us cook. Like, you're putting too much pressure on us. Like, you need to just let us have our moment and like try to build something. So like, just back off for a hot second and I promise I'll update you. So
I love that.
That's the lore of Keke and Sean Evans. And so like secretly we're all just hoping that at some point they like show up with wedding bands like Bradley and Gigi.
I love that you closed that loop. I love that you did that.
You know.
Damn, she's good. I love that for Keke, especially because she is so busy. Oftentimes when work becomes the priority, there may not be space or you can't find space for a relationship. So the fact that even that is sort of coming into alignment for her, love it. Like perfect timing for her. And that's so beautiful.
But also Sean Evans has got like a hammer and a nail and he's carving space. Like he's like,
I'll make
like,
room.
Let me in. Yeah. And he's known to be a great guy. And she's been, you know, she's had some unlucky in love moments. Yeah. And so we love this for her.
We love this. Now I've got some videos to go watch. Thanks.
Oh, yeah. No, you have to go back and watch those. It's really cute.
That's adorable. Well, this is fun. Thank you, everybody, for being here, for listening, watching, and showing us some love and some support. We appreciate you. And we'll be back on Monday.
In person, finally.
In person, together, back on the couch where we belong.
Cannot wait for that.
Forevermore. Me too.
Yes, forevermore. Miss you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. See you next time.